So welcome back to another windy, blustery, chilly March day here in Pennsylvania. We were just out yesterday filming. It was beautiful out there yesterday, but today's a totally different story. Today is Tuesday, March 7th. Yeah, as you can tell by the title of the video, it's time for another video in our Union Canal series. And in this video, hopefully, we will finish the section here in Swatara State Park. In our last video, which I actually just filmed last Sunday afternoon, we got to the one spot where the rail bed and the canal are right next to each other almost. In fact, I'm on the rail bed, I can see the canal right down there. But we're going to continue on. There's not going to be locks in this section, but we're going to make our way from here up to where Interstate 81 will cut us off, hopefully. Unless it gets just super, there's a chance it's going to get super just overgrown and almost impassable in this section. But we'll see how it goes. We're going to do our best. But I'm going to toss a map up, show you what the planned route is for today. You'll be able to see the canal on the terrain feature of Google Maps. Alright, so back there is where I came from. That takes you to the parking area. And right down here is the canal. Right up here, rail bed, canal. So that's why I made this a nice spot just to stop and pick it up again. And you should be able to hear the wood frogs again. I think there's more of them than there was when we were here Sunday. There's some out, but I think there's more of them out today. Yeah, but this right here is the canal. Right through here is the canal. Here's the towpath trail up here. So today we're gonna head this way. The canal is right here. Right there's our towpath, so I gotta make my way up there somehow. So I'm gonna do my best to finish this section here in the state park. I think regardless of how far I get, I think it'll be my last video filming any section in here. Except for when I do the video on the flood, the 1862 flood. But I think many years ago, I think I explored this section a little bit. I have these vague memories of you know, a thorny horror back here, but we'll see. We'll get as far as we can. But I don't think I explored all the way to Interstate 81 though. So I've got all afternoon, so let's see what we can do. Once again, we're walking on the towpath trail right here, and off to our side here is what's left of the canal. And you can see the rail bed right up there. And hopefully no trees land on us today. It's like really windy. Pretty strong gusts of wind every now and then. And maybe, hopefully there'll be some awesome surprise back this way. We'll see. Yeah, not as much water in the canal as in the last episode, but there's still some in there. Still just following the towpath trail here. Actually hasn't been terribly bad yet. Yeah, so here's an area where there's just a huge mound of dirt. Towpath is actually right through there, but they did bust a gap right here through the towpath trail, sort of, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what this is. I mean, it's man-made, but it kind of just goes down that way, so I'm not sure. Anyway, like our towpath goes that way, so that's where we gotta head. Well, I didn't make it very far yet. Right here is that big mound of dirt, but there's a wooden post here in the ground. Almost looks like an old railroad tie. I think that's what it is, actually. just hammered in the ground here, so not sure. There's an old paint can down there. Alright, so maybe, yeah, I'm just trying to think. But anyway, it's thick back here, so we're gonna keep trudging on. Yeah, and as you go further this way, the canal becomes less and less distinctive. There's less and less of that ditch formation. Back here, there's just a little bit of stream flowing through, but that ditch feature is gone. We do have more rounded off towpath trail here. I noticed that when I was looking at the terrain feature on Google Maps that it was not as distinctive through here. Do a bit of trash over here. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on here. Old galvanized bucket. Huh. I'm not sure. Almost looks like someone had a deer stand or something at one point. Alright. Ouch. Just got stabbed. Thorns. Yeah, so far, it hasn't been a total nightmare walking through here. Okay, so there on that side, our little other ridge picks up a little again. Like there's usually like, here's a towpath, but a lot of times it's a ditch and like another raised area. It kind of picks up over there again. Just seems to disappear back here sometimes. So there is a stream that flows out. Right here is the towpath going across here. I thought there'd be a pipe here or something, but maybe further down there is, but it almost looks like it just wells up from underneath. Let's go up here. Look on the other side. Yeah, so here's, going right across here is the towpath, but there's that little, I was wondering if there'd be some kind of old culvert or something, but like I do see like a little spot over there where the water is sinking down. So it's just a, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of old culvert or pipe underneath. Sometimes there were spots like that on the canal, just to help control the water level. They have culverts that went underneath here and there. Yeah, there's another railroad tie back there, like sticking up out of the ground. Oh, there's another one over there too, on that side. I don't think you can see them. Now, sometimes they use those as fences. Of course, right up that way was the railroad bed, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm in an area now where I've never explored before, so I mean, I've hiked the rail bed all the way out this way, but not back here. Alright, it's getting, now it's starting to look a little more nightmarish. Yes, and the canal is pretty dry through here, so I think I'll walk through here instead of walking through that, where the towpath is. But here's some of these more of these railroad ties. And you can see one there, almost like an old fence. Alright, a lot easier walking through here. So now we're walking through the canal here. The towpath on our right. A little bit mushy in here, but not too bad. Oh, but then up here it just gets super thick. I know there's a trail, somewhere up here there's a trail that cuts down through. There's a pond up here called Irving Pond. We'll encounter that at some point. Oh boy. Yeah, here things just get almost kind of obliterated. Yeah, so this section through here is just nuts. Not a complaint, just an observation. Alright. Well, like I said, this is kind of what I was expecting. Oh. Ah, ooh, I can stand up. Yeah, so I think right here we're standing in the canal right here. Once again, I think. So it's tough going through here, but in a weird way, I kind of mildly enjoy this too. I'm not sure why. I just love exploring. It's always the idea, you never know what's going to be back here. I don't think anybody really comes back here. You can see how thick, almost everything has thorns on it. Just thick and tangled, but you never know. You never know. So we're going to keep following it. That's what this journey is about too. Following the Union Canal, wherever it takes us. So oddly enough, I found a baseball back here. What in the world? So, I ended up just getting washed down in here from somewhere. It's not terribly far from the rail bed. Like I said, back in the day, they did use places like this as dumps, so maybe... Hold on, my camera's stuck. Alright, a little bit of room to stretch again. Yeah, my camera... I have like a little fuzzy wind muff on my camera for the microphone, but the thorns love to get attached to that. But yeah, the baseball was back there, so like I said, we found other trash dumps, so maybe that's a remnant of that. Alright, kind of difficult at this point to really tell where the canal is, but I believe our towpath is still going right here. So, it's a little easier walking through here. Yeah, check out that wind. Yeah, so check this out. We got a giant oak tree just in front of us here. Huh. Yeah, our towpath is right here. The canal is just on the other side there. So this is growing like right on the towpath. Gotta walk up to it here, get around these thorns. Yeah, it's a big tree. You can kind of see it in the background there. Decent sized tree. It's right off to the side of the towpath, so it's probably growing here. It could have easily been growing here when the towpath was, when the canal was in operation, perhaps. So I'm going to call this a canal tree. I mean, like this part of the canal was abandoned in 1862, so, oh boy, quick do some math in my head, you know, 150 to 170 years ago. That's about how old that tree is. I wouldn't be surprised if that tree was even older. That's a big tree, so it was, I'm guessing it was here when the canal was in operation. Because like if you look around, there's nothing else in the area that's the size of this tree. So it just has that look to it. Alright, a canal tree. I'm gonna coin a new word here. So if that tree could talk, it would tell us what it was like back then. You know, what it looked like to see the, you know, the canal boats going through the canal and stuff like that. I know people still keep asking me about that, you know, visually, you know, what did the boats look like? Well, once again, on YouTube, just type in, you know, UK canal boat living, or just canal boat living, and there's people over in the United Kingdom, over there in England, who live on canal boats, and they show you what it's like to ride along the canals, use the locks and stuff like that. It just gives you a good visual of what this would have looked like back in the day. But maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe he sprouted just when the canal was abandoned, so maybe he is only like 150 years old. Still a big tree. But yeah, I'm kind of losing sight of where the canal is. I thought the towpath was right here, right next to the tree, but because it wouldn't have been right on the towpath trail. It just wouldn't work to have trees on the towpath. Anyway, but it also looks like the towpath is down there too. This whole area has been altered. It's difficult, but it's easier walking through here. So I'm going to try and figure things out here again. So the terrain has changed over the years through here. Got some old rusted out barrels over here. Not sure what's going on with those. Canal's behind me. I'm just kind of exploring up here a little bit. Alright. Trying to head back. Alright, so I believe this is that trail I was talking about earlier in the video. It comes down from the rail trail up there. So Irving Pond should be right around here somewhere. You know, the canal went to the north of it. Not sure what the pond looks like these days. I think years ago I stopped in to visit it. Let me get back to you. So we are just to the north of the pond. It's down that way a little bit, but the trail is just swamped out. So, but the canal ran just to the north of that pond too, so we're still in the right area for our canal. It's just through here it's very difficult to tell exactly where it was, even a towpath. Alright, we'll keep going. If it gets too rough, I'll just go back up to the rail trail. Alright, so I'm up on the rail trail now. I had to let that go. I had to wave the white flag. Because I remember even when I was looking at it on Google Maps, past Irving Pond, the canal was almost indistinguishable on the terrain feature. So I'm not going to see it on the terrain feature. I'm not going to see it in all that brush. So I'd be busting through all that brush, but not necessarily following the canal. A little bit earlier in this video, it's clear. Yeah, the branches following me. Earlier in the video, it was pretty clear to see where the towpath was, but at the end there, I just couldn't really tell where the towpath was at all, or the ditch. So I wasn't going to fight all that brush when I wasn't even following the canal. So we'll walk up to the end here of the rail trail to where 81 is. I haven't been up this way for a while. It's not the nicest area back here, but anyway, this is still the rail trail back here, but we got like a junkyard on our left. This is still the park down here too. Not too many people come back this way though. I mean, maybe there's something super cool we're missing back there, but it's just a nightmare. So I think this is as far as I'll go. I think you can kind of make out the traffic back there for Interstate 81. But our canal would have been down through here, and as you can see, this is just, yeah, wet. It's not just brushy, but it's wet. It's like a swamp back there. So yeah, so in our next video, hopefully we'll be on the other side of Interstate 81 where lock number 2 is, or was. We'll talk about that in that video. So this is our last section that we'll do in Swatara State Park. Like I said, I'll probably still film in here again when I do that, film the Flood of 1862 episode. There's that one other place I may go back to where we saw like all that timber, like there's a dock there. We might go back and explore that a little bit more. We'll see. But yeah, so the next episode we'll talk about lock number 2, and I'll probably talk about why I started doing this series and why I kind of make videos like this in general. And it's kind of because of lock number 2 here on the Branch Canal. But beyond that, I did get permission for a large section. And then I got permission, like I said in the previous video, from the Fish and Game Club there too, so that'll be cool. So just a few more episodes of the Branch Canal till where it ends in Pine Grove, so maybe 3 more episodes of that, and we'll be done with the Branch Canal, and then we'll head back down to Union Waterworks, back on the mainline canal. Oh yeah, I do have the, I forgot, I got permission for Lock 10. I gotta film that yet too. So, still haven't heard about Lock 11. And like I said, we're gonna kayak that one section of the canal, of the creek, and look for locks 12, 13, and 14. Like I said, I'll probably wait till spring for that. When it's a little bit warmer for kayaking. But I've got a bit of a walk back, but thankfully it's not through thorns and brush and stuff. Just here on the rail trail. So that'll be it then, folks. As always, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be. And just as a side note, on the way back, first turtles of spring. Kind of blurry, but there they are.